And we begin at 10 o'clock with some breaking news. A Volusia County child is dead after being attacked by 2 dogs. Good evening. I'm Greg Warmith.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. This all happened around 5 p.m. in a DeLand neighborhood in an area right off of County Road 15A. Channel 9's Nick Papantonis is outside of that neighborhood. Or Nick, you have learned that this young victim was just an 8-year-old little boy. This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it gets even worse because right behind us through the gates of this community where you can see those blue lights back there, right next to that deputy's car right there, is what we believe to be the boy's bike, or at least a bike belonging to the friend. And that small bike sitting on the sidewalk just underscoring the age and the gravity of what happened at this scene. As you've established right now, it was an 8-year-old boy. The attack happening before 5 o'clock. We are at Arabesque Drive at the intersection basically of Airport Road. They're both small roads by the Land Airport just off of County Road 15A. Witnesses called 911, tried to give the CPR to the boy. Unfortunately, he did not make it. Deputies say they arrived, chased the 2 dogs, captured them eventually. They described one of the dogs as a pit bull, the other one is a mixed breed. Neighbors told me off camera they did not recognize the dogs, but they also didn't exactly see what happened, didn't even know for sure that the dogs had been captured until I told that to them when I knocked on their door. The investigation is underway. The Sheriff Mike Chitwood saying in a statement in part, quote, "This is a tragedy beyond comprehension, especially for those of us who are parents and grandparents. I can only ask our community to say a prayer of strength for this family and keep them in your hearts as they face their worst nightmare." Obviously, a lot of questions right now about how those dogs managed to attack the boy. Were they loose? Were they on a leash and the leash just got away? We don't have a lot of information. The sheriff says, as I just said, the investigation is underway. Deputies are trying right now actively actually to determine and put together the sequence of events. We do expect an update tomorrow.
We're learning that an 8-year-old has been killed by 2 dogs. This all happening in Volusia County. We've been working with our news partners in Central Florida this morning at the CBS station in Orlando. We're just getting this brand new video in here of this scene in the overnight hours there. Now, we're just now hours away from an update that's expected from the sheriff there in Volusia County, expected to give us some more details about exactly what led up to this. It's all still under investigation, but in a Facebook post, the sheriff there is saying that this boy's family, their final memories are trying to fend off these dogs and trying to give their child CPR before the boy passed away there. Now, we do know one of the dogs was a pit bull, the other was a mixed breed. We'll send it back to you.
And we continue to follow that developing story. This is the moment officers arrived on the scene last night, and the details that we've learned today are tough to hear. I'm Greg Warmith.
I'm Darlene Jones. That may be an understatement. It really is disturbing what the sheriff laid out today. It happened off County Road 15A, just north of DeLand. Channel 9's Demi Johnson is live in the neighborhood. And Demi, Sheriff Chitwood says the boy was simply riding his bike.
Yeah, Darlene and Greg, I know you guys are both parents, and I have a niece right around the same age as this little boy, and I just cannot begin to imagine what this family is going through. The sheriff says it's not clear what caused the dogs to become violent or why they attacked this little boy and not his friend, but all of this happened at these mailboxes you see just over my shoulder. You can see this is a gated community, and the dogs actually live in a house outside of this neighborhood, but the sheriff says it's not the first time they've wandered here.
Get back! Get back in your yard! Get back in there!
These are the dogs deputies say brutally attacked a little boy Monday evening. The child's injuries were so severe he didn't survive.
He never had a chance. He never, ever, ever had a chance.
Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the dogs are now in animal control's custody. But before any action can be taken, the owner has to agree to sign them over. If that doesn't happen, they'll have to go to court.
We are going to do everything humanly possible to hold the owner of these dogs responsible, and we're going to do everything possible to make sure that these animals are destroyed.
The sheriff's office tells us this is the home where the owner lived with her dogs. We want to show you how close it is to the neighborhood where the attacks happened. The neighborhood is right here. You can see it's blocked off by a wall, and it's a gated community. Deputies say the dog's owner's name is Amanda Franco, and while she's not facing any charges in this case yet, she has a lengthy criminal history. When we were at her house, a woman showed up and shut the gate. We can't confirm if it was Franco, but we did ask her about the attack. We just want to talk to you about your dogs. Very unfortunate situation. Is this your house? Do you know who lives here? Do you know who lives here? Neighbors told deputies several other stories about the dogs being aggressive and wandering through the neighborhood, but animal control has never received or responded to any calls related to them.
We strongly encourage anybody who is observing an animal that is stray or observing a nuisance animal or aggressive animal to report it to us.
The sheriff made it very clear he wants these dogs euthanized, and he also wants Franco to face charges, but none of that can happen without a solid case. So the sheriff wants anyone with information about these dogs to call the sheriff's office. Coming up at 5, we'll break down some more of Franco's criminal history. Live in Volusia County, Demi Johnson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Right now on Fox 35 News at 10, a family is heartbroken after an 8-year-old is attacked and killed by a pair of dogs.
One of the smartest little kids I've ever met. I mean, he could probably run the world.
His family calls him funny, loving, and caring.
Nothing could stop him.
The whole community feeling the impact of this deadly attack.
And then they see the little boy's bicycle laying on the ground like that. Oh, man. It just really hurt my heart.
Now his family waits for answers as these 2 dogs remain locked up, their reign of terror now over.
They have been previously found to run stray. It's just unfortunate that nobody actually reported it to Animal Services.
And we start with that Fox 35 exclusive tonight. This is Michael Millett. He's the 8-year-old boy who was mauled to death yesterday by 2 dogs in his DeLand neighborhood. His family says Michael was a ray of light and always happy. And tonight, that little boy's aunt is speaking only to Fox 35. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie is live in Volusia County tonight. So, Hannah, what did she share with you about the little boy?
Well, I spoke with Michael's aunt and Michael's mother, and Michael's mother told me she will never get the image of her son being mauled out of her head. She physically threw her body onto Michael to shield him from the dogs, but it was too late. The unthinkable unraveling Monday night in the Berries Ridge neighborhood of DeLand.
My great-nephew was gone. Like, we can't get him back.
8-year-old Michael Millett mauled to death by 2 dogs.
Just the kind of kid you just want to give a hug to because he's just so sweet and so funny and so caring, and now he's gone.
His great aunt Jackie Hart telling us Michael's mother did what she could to help her little boy.
She went out there and had to, like, kick the dog and punch the dog and, you know, protect her son. But unfortunately, she wasn't able to.
Neighbors frantically calling 911 as the dogs attacked Michael.
They're, like, biting him, but he's not moving and he's not responding.
Michael's mother says they've lived here for 6 years and have never seen the dogs before, but neighbors have.
As soon as you drive in the driveway, you know, you'd start hearing the dogs, and they're just going crazy.
Frank Tuttle lives near the dog's owner on Airport Road. He says one of the dogs previously killed another neighbor's chickens.
I didn't know whether I had to carry a weapon or do whatever in order to, you know, not get attacked.
Get back! Get back in your yard! Get back in there!
Both dogs now in quarantine with Volusia County Animal Control. And Michael is the youngest of 3. He was actually named after his dad. His dad is a truck driver, and he was actually in Texas during the attack. He drove overnight to get here today to be with his family.
I got the 2 dogs running towards the front gate. It's like 2 pit bulls.
And the next unit on scene, can you shut my truck door? I'm chasing the dogs down the street. I'm trying to stay with them. Hey, 20, I'm down the dirt road with the 2 dogs ahead of you. She's with the kid. You know whose dogs these are?
Get back! Get back in your yard! Get back in there! Get back! Even though that's not fenced, and they can make it through this, so keep that in mind.
Hey, back up! Hey, Graham. We could block this in.
On the other side of the shrubs, it's all open to the neighbors.
Have him get inside the house until we get him actually.
Yeah, hey, either hop in the truck or go inside that house, one or the other.
Hey. You want to show them that way, Benky? Go back over there.